Okay. Ready, Lois?
Yes, I am.
All right. Okay, this is Joe with PrepAgent, and Lois passed her exam. Good job, Lois.
Yeah, you had good stuff. I couldn't have done it without it. Well, without her.
So there's one more expertise to be able to help you with. As you know, a lot of people get business through Facebook, as I do too. Most of the people who found PrepAgent, such as yourself or others, find me on either YouTube or Facebook. That's my main source of marketing. So I may not be able to help you with everything as you become a real estate agent, but I can help you with your social media because that's what I do. And it's a big part of it. As you know, I have an online business. That's where you use my stuff.
Right.
So today, I want to help you with that and get that going. So you could see your page and see what we got going. What do you think?
I'm very excited. Can't wait.
It's one thing to pass. Because in this day and age, Facebook's so important. Everybody uses it all the time. Everybody knows they use it, but for some reason, real estate agents don't take it seriously. They still use these archaic methods, even though we all know we use it. We all know it's important. We think it's scary. But it's not as scary as people think if you do some basic things. Sometimes people get so intimidated by the analytics, but if you just do basic things, you look professional, you'll be good to go.
Right.
And that's what we're going to do. And I have an outline, which I'll send you later. I use an outline to make sure I got all the points covered for what people need to do. Okay?
Good.
All right. So first off, some benefits of Facebook. All right, what are the benefits you think are of Facebook when you think of Facebook?
Well, it's right there at your fingertips. You're able to look up the information on the person, get some, maybe they have listings that you can look at in your area. It's just right there. It's right there in your face. You don't have to worry about getting a magazine to look it up. You can go right on your computer.
That's true. So for you as a new real estate agent, you get to publish content. You're going to interact with your friends, stay connected with your brand. Okay, you'll be able to publish the latest news, participate in conversations, which is a big part of Facebook, share interesting content, and people don't realize, but Facebook has over 1 billion users now. Now, obviously, you're not going to touch the billion, but that's you'll get a small segment of that as part of your marketing.
Right.
The other thing to go over is you could do insights and analytics. Do you know what insights and analytics means?
No.
So insights and analytics is something you could do when you post, and you can see how many people are looking at, how the posts are working, if they're going well, if they're not going well, all those different types of information you have relevant to it. Now that only comes up with a Facebook business page. Okay, so first off, so everybody knows, the difference between a personal page and a business page. There's a big difference. You have a personal page. What we're looking at right now is your business page.
Right.
Why did you start a business page?
Well, you don't want your personal and business mixed.
Right. So there's that obvious reason, but there's actually tangible reasons as well for why you want to start a business page. Some things you do is you do those analytics we just spoke about. With your personal page, if you do a post like on a house, let's say you have an open house, you post on your personal page, you can't do analytics to see how many people are engaging with it, how many people are talking, how successful that post is.
Okay.
With a business page, you can. So with a business page, you have analytics. Okay, and that can get highly, highly complicated to the point where you may want to hire somebody later. But you want to at least so you know you have the ability. If you're a very mathematical engineering type person, you want to know that stuff. You want to know, simple things. Like when I post a blue house, this many people see it. When I post a red house, 40 people see it. When I post a yellow house, simple things like colors or things of that or things you say. You'll be able to have advanced information on what's working and what's not, so you could do it again and again and again and again.
Okay.
For example, for me, on the PrepAgent Facebook page, I learned through my analytics which type of questions work better. Like sometimes I post just text if you look at my Facebook page.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll put it in an image. And that's not by accident. I learned, okay, if I put it in an image, it gets more views. I get more interaction than if I just write text. So if you follow my Facebook page, you'll see I'll start putting a lot more questions in the form of images on it rather than just text.
Yeah, text is kind of boring. Yeah,
right. And then I came across, I did a few motivational things. And then I found that got a lot of likes, a lot of interactions. People like that. And I knew it through my analytics. So I started to really focus on what makes people feel good. What do they want to hear? And I started to realize in my business with the real estate exam prep, people need to kind of feel motivated. It's scary. It's scary going to your exam. We
Sure.
all felt it. And so I realized what kind of posts working because of the analytics. That is only possible on your business page.
Okay.
And what I'm trying to get across, it's not that complicated. I used it for the PrepAgent page. You could do it with your page too.
Okay, great.
The other thing is you'll have the ability to create advertising campaigns. So when you go on your normal Facebook page, your personal page, you know how you see sponsored links?
Right. Yep, I do.
That's because people advertised. That is only possible when you have a business page.
You have to pay more for that, though, right? You have to pay for that through Facebook?
You do, and that's a great question. You do have to pay for that through Facebook. However, it's not as much as you think. So if you pay some minimal amount, it puts you light years ahead of people who are not paying anything.
Okay.
I mean, it's such a minimal cost, and you'll learn how to do that later, and I'll show you some simple things you could do
Okay.
in order to pay for things. So it's like the barrier of entry paying things, I'm literally talking like $2,
Okay.
$3, $5 maybe. It's very minimal, and it goes really far. Because the
Okay.
difference between the person who does nothing and pays a little is light years. So the other thing you have here with your business page is you have somebody can follow you without being your friend.
Okay. I didn't
And
know that.
and you referred to that before saying you want your business and your personal life personal.
Right.
And here's why. Because I could follow you, the Lois Realtor page, but we don't need to be friends on the personal page. And that not only works for you, but it works for me as well. Because if I want to follow your personal page, we have to become friends, correct?
Right.
Well,
Yes.
that also means you could see all of my stuff too.
Right.
And I don't know if I want that. So you said your life is private. Well, mine is too, as somebody who's a fan of your page. I respect your business. I want to know about your business, but I don't need you knowing my political views, where I took my kids yesterday, all this stuff we all enjoy sharing on our personal page.
Right. Yep.
So it's not just for you, it's for the person who's following you too. Okay? The other problem is how many friends do you think you have on your personal page?
About 200?
200. Okay? If your business page, you're going to wind up having a lot more than that.
I hope.
Of course you do. You're going to want to have a lot more than that. And you never want to have a ceiling on what you do.
Right. Right.
Well, on your personal page, many people don't know this, you're limited to 5,000 friends.
Right.
So there's a ceiling there. With your business page, there's no ceiling. I know 5,000 sounds like a lot, but you don't know how long you'll be doing this. You don't know how Facebook's going to go, and you don't know if you like it. You don't like knowing there's a ceiling. So there's a 5,000 person limit on your personal page.
And there's none on the business?
None. Business, well, obviously, because you look at ESPN or some celebrity, they have hundreds of thousands of people following their page. Okay?
Yep.
The other big deal on your business page, and this is huge, and this is my favorite thing of all, is you could schedule your posts.
Oh.
Okay?
Nice.
And like I said, I mean, it seems pretty simple. I put up a business page, there you go. But you want to know all these things. And like I said, I'll send you a list of all this and you can review it.
Okay.
Because you're going to want to remember and go back through and utilize all these things I'm telling you. So what scheduling a post means is, well, think of it like this. Do you want to post regularly?
Yes, I do.
Are you always going to be at your computer at 12 o'clock?
No.
No. So scheduling the post means in advance, you could post when you want to post.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. So basically, let's do a post right now. Well, I'll show you what I mean. Let's do a post right now. Okay. So on your page.
Yep.
Okay. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Let's make a post. Okay.
Yep.
I'm doing this with you now. And you want to make a post. You want to write like, Lois is awesome, or whatever you want to write.
It says write something, you mean?
Good. Yes. That's where we're at.
Okay. Okay.
Start to write something. Say, I'm ready to sell your house.
Sell your house.
Good.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Now there's a little arrow next to where it says publish, correct?
Yep. Oh,
Hit that.
schedule. I'm sorry. No.
There you go. So let's hit that. Let's hit schedule.
Okay. Oh, neat.
Okay.
Yep.
And you could set a time you want to schedule it for.
Good.
And you could schedule out for the week, the month, even the year.
What kind of other things can you like put photos and?
Yeah, it's just like any other post you do. And then you could schedule it for the future.
Wow.
So this is really important for a number of reasons. One, because you don't have time, you want your post to be consistent. You want it to be at 12 o'clock every day, let's say, if that's what you decide is best for your business.
Right.
Okay? The other thing is holidays. You may be busy on Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Memorial Day, Labor Day. As a real estate agent, you never want to miss an opportunity to send a good holiday card.
Right. Yep.
So you could schedule your post for Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. You can make sure it's scheduled out.
Neat. That's good.
Okay, but more importantly, you want your daily post. If you look at the PrepAgent page, you notice I always have one scheduled at about the same time. And there's also a theme to it. I usually will try and schedule text question, photo question, something to help people get motivated, a fact, like there's a rhythm to it. And as you get better, you're going to start creating a rhythm
Right.
to what you post. Because obviously you don't want to do the same thing over and over again.
To being consistent so people maybe will come back to your page, you think, or?
Exactly. Well, you want to be interesting.
Right.
And so you don't always want to post, I love that house.
Right.
Right? And God forbid you don't want to post, use me, I'm really good at selling real estate, like blatant marketing.
Right. Right.
But every once in a while you do want to say that. But you want to schedule it accordingly. Like you may want to give a real hardcore sell on yourself once a week. And maybe, okay, every Thursday I'm going to push myself a little bit.
Okay.
But if you schedule it, you'll time it a little better rather than being like, oh, I haven't sold myself in a while, I got to do that, boom. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
Okay, so the next thing you have here is you can assign admin roles to manage the page for you.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, the reason for that is you're going to be out selling real estate, learning contracts, doing what you got to do to be a good real estate agent, correct?
Right. Somebody could do this for me.
Somebody could do it for you, and there's different levels they could do it for you. Okay?
Okay.
So what I'd like you to do is click Settings on the top right.
Okay. I'm all set.
Okay, so you clicked on Settings, correct?
Right.
Now below on Settings, if you go to the left, it says General, Messaging, Edit Page, Post Attribution, Notification, and Page Roles. Do you see that?
I do.
Okay, so we're going to click on Page Roles.
Okay.
Okay. If you scroll down on it, it'll say the different types of things you give. It says assign a new page role. Do you see that?
I do.
Now, there's different things you could assign to people. Admin, you better have a lot of confidence in somebody, okay? Because
Right.
they're essentially going to have the exact same access that you have to everything. If you have an editor, and you'll see it says it below in gray. Do you see it? It says the
do.
responsibilities.
Yep.
Okay, so you go to editor. It says can edit the page, send messages, publishes the page, create ads, see which admins create a post, comment, or view insights. So that's a good one.
Okay.
And what they mean by publish the page, let's say you make me an editor, okay?
Yep.
When I post, I will publish as lowest realtor. It won't show up as Joe.
Right.
So I basically am you. Does that make sense?
It does.
And you see it all the time. People have products. If you're the local store or something, you want the people working for you helping you with this. So it's not always you. It's a little trickier as a real estate agent because your business is you. So people think they're talking to you.
Right. Okay.
But if you have a professional who's answering basic things, it's a good thing for them to have. Okay?
Yep.
A moderator, you could have somebody, they could edit and delete comments. send messages as the page, much like the editor. Okay, an advertiser, what do you think that person could do?
They could put ads up for you on your site.
Yes, exactly. So they could help you with your ads. And an analyst, what do you think they could do?
Well, they're analyzing your data.
Right, so they basically can't do anything. All they could do is tell you what's going on.
Right.
Which you may want. Because remember we said those insights and analytics, and I said that, and you were like, wow, that sounds heavy.
Right.
So you could do everything you do and then pay somebody just once a week, say, hey, here's whatever, however much I paid you. I'm going to make you an analyst. Can you give me all the facts of what's working, what's not, and what I should continue with? Basically like a consultant.
Right. Okay.
So if you really wanted me to help with your page, down the road after you worked on a while and you say, I want to know which direction this is going in, if I'm doing this right way, you would make somebody analyst and they'd come back to the report saying, here's where you're going well, here's where you're going right, this is what you should do. So it's basically helpful if you want somebody to give you guidance rather than do it for you. If you want them to do it for you, you would have some of those other things.
Makes sense.
And once again, that's only possible with a business page.
Right. Didn't realize that, though, but I knew I needed a business page.
Right. There's a lot you could do with a business page. Okay. So you set up your page, but let's make sure you set up correctly.
Okay.
So you logged in through your personal account. And when you set up your business page, just so you know, people don't know it's you setting it up. Now, I said it's a little different than real estate agent because obviously it's you. It's the same person. It's just Lois the professional and Lois the personal person.
Right.
So just so people know who are listening to this, if you want to set it up, and let's do this together real quick, you go to the top right and you hit Create Page.
Okay.
And the type of business you want as a real estate agent, okay, you want to go to local business. And if you didn't do this, you could change it.
Yeah, I did local business.
Good. And then you could choose real estate.
Right.
So you could do that. And then you put in your address, your name, all the rest of it.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Local business is the most predominant one you could do.
Okay.
And you could see all the benefits, and I'll send you the link of all the different ones that you have the option to do.
Okay.
But not everybody wants local business. For example, if you're just a website, then you don't have an address, you don't need that. Okay, but local business is the most all-encompassing.
Okay.
So for local business, you have your short description, you have a website, email, phone, address, map, where you checked in. Do you understand what check-ins mean?
What? What did you just say?
Check-ins. Do you understand what check-ins mean?
No.
So check-ins mean if you're like at an open house, you could check in and say, I'm Lois, I'm at the open house on 32 Main Street.
Okay.
All right, so people know where you are. You're basically telling people your location.
Okay.
And most importantly, you can include ratings and reviews, which is huge. You always want ratings and reviews, especially on Facebook. Because on Facebook, the ratings and reviews are so important. Reviews are good anywhere. But with Facebook, people know those reviews are real.
Right. Unlike some others out there, right?
Right, because on a testimonial on a website, I could have written that in. I could have just made up a name and wrote it. But on Facebook, if you write a review, or I write a review about you, it's linked to my page. So people know I'm a real person. And they can even message me. Remember, you don't need to be somebody's friend to message. You'll be like, hey, I saw you wrote about a review about Lois the realtor. I want to get your opinion. Obviously, you liked her or you didn't like her, depending on the review. Why? Where'd you get those thoughts from? And I could choose to respond to them. So reviews on Facebook are very powerful. You always want to use that.
Good.
Which brings me to my next point. As a real estate agent, you're going to want to help a lot of people. And very few of those people are actually going to convert to a transaction. Theory is you help a lot of people, good karma will come back to you, get your name out in the community, whether it's information or just a little advice, whatever it could be. Because eventually it'll kind of result in a sale, correct?
Right.
So people may not convert. So if I help somebody, give them just a little advice. They say, what do you think of my property? Well, I think of this, da, 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 da. And they said, well, I'm not really selling now, but I really appreciate your help. What you would tell them is, hey, that's no problem. I'm glad I could help you. Would you mind writing a review for me on the Facebook page? And everybody will say yes. If you generally help them, they're like, sure, no problem. They'll write, you know what, I didn't use Lois to sell my house, but when I do, I'll be ready to use her because she was really great, she was helpful. And they'll say something nice.
That'd be really good to have, even if, right, you can still help people without having to sell the house.
Right, so you may not get a commission from them, but you can still get something out of them in the way of a review. And you keep building those reviews bigger and bigger. And obviously, when you actually do sell somebody's house, you want them to write a review as well.
Yeah.
But those reviews are massively powerful, and people take them for granted. And it's one more advantage of having a Facebook business page which people need. That's the biggest one, honestly, that it blows my mind that real estate agents don't have set up.
Do you find that some of the real estate agents that have been doing it for a while do not have a page?
They do not.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of them have terrible pages. And they get intimidated by this whole, well, I'm selling real estate, I'm not a social media person. They get scared. But as you see what I'm showing you today, this stuff isn't that complicated.
No, it isn't.
You know, it's pretty simple. If they just took a second to talk to somebody like me or somebody else, or took a little time to analyze it, like, this isn't that hard. And it's a shame because you have these wonderful agents who do fantastic work, and there's no reviews.
Yeah.
And this is one of the best things for you starting out. A lot of these agents have been around for a while. They don't do this stuff. And this is going to be your great equalizer. Because you don't have the experience they do, but you'll be able to market yourself, do a little better by doing basic things.
Right.
But that reviews is just, I can't express enough how enormous it is in the day and age where people look on the internet and they want to find, something to validate people all the time. So if you have reviews from real people, it's a great thing.
Yeah.
So remember, always help people whenever you can. Always be nice. And if they like you, don't let it go for nothing. Just say, I'm glad you liked me. I'm glad we got along. I know you're not selling your house or buying, but would you mind, just telling people your experience with me via review on my Facebook page?
Right. Good. I will definitely do that.
Yeah. Okay. So you have, you put in the information you want. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For your page, subject, all the rest of it. You also need a short description.
Yep.
And by the way, the information you put in here, you could change later if you want. You want to use a keyword-rich summary. Do you know what keyword-rich means?
Something will maybe catch someone's attention.
Not just anyone, Google.
Google. Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So first you want to use your name, but also you want to use your town's name. So what town are you in?
I'm in West Wareham, but my broker is in South Dartmouth.
So whichever one you want to use, you want to put that in the description is my point.
Right. Okay.
You don't want to just be like, I sell real estate, I'm great at it. That's pie in the sky stuff.
Right.
You want to use your location, your area. If you're focused on condos, put that in there. Anything that will make you unique, you want to put in there. So when people Google South Dartmouth real estate, whatever, and they Google the name of your brokerage even, you'll come up.
Right. Okay. How can you get it out there, like where when you do Google my name, that it will come up sooner rather than taking a long time?
That's a whole nother conversation.
Oh, okay. Forget it then.
That's called search engine optimization.
Yeah. Yep.
But I will tell you this. You'll have a website. It's very difficult getting your website highly ranked.
Okay.
So what you want to do is piggyback on others. When I say others, I mean Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, things of that nature.
Okay.
How did you find me originally?
I Googled you.
Okay, and what came up?
I don't remember. I don't know.
So it was either, I'm telling you, it was either YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, one of those.
I think it was YouTube.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So another thing I want to go over, not say another time, is people should use YouTube as much as they can. Because when you put your keywords in YouTube, that will come up very high on the search engine. Because YouTube's a Google product.
Oh, that's good.
So if you make some video about South Dartmouth and your real estate firm, and you just put that in the keywords in your YouTube channel, it'll come up. For example, for me, if you Google certain real estate terms like real estate exam, eminent domain. My video, YouTube video on that subject will come up before my website.
Yep.
Okay. So you want to make sure you have keyword rich descriptions in things like Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Because those things will come up much faster than any website you're ever going to build. Okay?
Yep.
So that's what I mean, your description, make sure it's keyword rich. Okay? So really take time to think about it. All right. Next thing is add a link to your website. Do you have a website yet?
I do. I'm still working on it.
Okay, then use your brokerage's website. Your broker should have a website. If your brokerage doesn't have a website, you get a different
So you
broker.
recommend to do that until I'm finished, or?
Yeah, so just so it goes somewhere. You don't want it blank.
Well, it is there. I'm still trying to get it up to speed. Probably be done in the next couple of days.
Okay, so when that's done, you want to put a link to your website. Now, keep in mind, the Facebook page is extremely powerful, what you could do. You could add information about open houses, pictures, videos, a whole bunch of stuff. So people spend so much time focusing on their website, trying to make it elaborate, when really they're trying to create things your Facebook page could already do.
Okay.
Your website could be as simple as almost like a business card. Your face, a URL, some information, and then a link to your Facebook page. So guess what I'm saying is you could use your Facebook page as your website.
Okay.
I guess what I'm saying is that the website is more or less just a glorified business card.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a different way of looking at it.
It's the way I look at it because to recreate what you could do on the Facebook page on your website is almost unnecessary. It's reinventing the wheel. And if somebody has the money and the resources and the time to do it, go get them. But for a lot of us, a lot of this is free, what you could do on your Facebook page. So why recreate the wheel?
Right. Okay.
If that makes sense. You could utilize, and remember, a lot of people are going to the Facebook page anyway. Think of it this way. You put an open house on your Facebook page, okay?
Yep.
So now you're going to use your Facebook page to go to your website that has a picture of an open house, which is already on that Facebook page. Do you see the ping pong effect? It's a little unnecessary.
Yes.
Because you're going to be trying to gain business through the Facebook page. So why not have the information right there? I mean, you're not making money by people going to your website. You're making money by selling that house.
Right. Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. All right, your Facebook URL. Do you know what that is?
Well, that's the link to get to your Facebook page.
Yeah, so when you set up your Facebook page, okay, you'll have a link that's something like Facebook / has all these weird numbers and letters and things of that nature. Be like Facebook / 432568.
Yeah. Yep.
This, that. You could create a name like facebook.com / PrepAgent. Is what I had. I see here you have facebook.com / L. McCarthy.
Right.
Okay. When you set that up, and you already got yours set up, you have to be very careful. So do not take it lightly when you set up.
Okay.
The reason is you could only change it once.
Okay.
So people out there who are listening to this, don't just set it up immediately right then and there. Think of something you want, really put some thought into it, because once you have it, you're stuck with it. You could change it once. I'm telling you right now, change it's not easy. It has to go through an approval process with Facebook. It's not simple. So you got yours, which is great, and yours looks great.
Yep.
But, people are listening, just they don't fill something in like, Joe's the greatest ever, go get him, Joe. People think of stupid things. Really think of stuff. And you want it short and sweet. Something that you could share easily on your business card. Ideally, your business card will have the URL to your new website you're going to create, your Facebook page, okay, the facebook.com / LPrevetMcCarthy.
Okay.
Your LinkedIn, and if you have one, a YouTube channel or Twitter or Instagram, whatever, they'll have all the links to your social media right there.
Okay.
Okay, so people could go right to it. Okay?
I hear that YouTube is pretty powerful too.
Very powerful, extremely powerful. And, we'll go over that another time. But my
Okay.
point is, you don't want to write on your business card, facebook.com/436853JQCR5678.
It's too long.
Right, because the reality is you can't. All you could do is use it as a link if you do that.
Right. Okay.
Does that make sense? I mean, the
Yes,
reality
it
is you
does.
wouldn't write it. But if you have, like mine, facebook.com/PrepAgent. It's pretty simple. I could say that to you quickly and you'll remember that.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Especially with the name like yours, it can be hard to spell. These will be like private. Is that one T? Is that two T's? You know,
Right.
so you want it real simple. Okay. All right. Okay, you want to add the page to your favorites so you can access the information easily. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you could also make a preferred page audience. Did you get a chance to do this?
I think I did. I've been
Okay.
I've been experimenting.
Right. And I'm giving you, I feel like in your voice already, I've given you a lot where you're going to go back and be like, I got to look at what he said again.
Yeah.
Because I'm hopeful, and that's my hope. My hope is by doing this already, you're just like, wow, there's a lot more to this than I realized. And not only that, it's a lot more to this than I realized. That's not that complicated.
No, it isn't. And I think
Okay.
once you go through it, you'll know.
Okay, click on settings.
Okay.
Then click on the left, preferred page audience.
Got it.
Okay, do you see what it says there?
It says age 18 to 65.
Uh-huh.
Look at all those people.
Right, that's the maximum.
Yeah.
So you narrow it down to your area because that's all you really care about, living in wherever, unless you want to market to other places. But essentially, Facebook reaches only so much, your page.
Right.
And by narrowing it down, it's focusing that reach on the area you want to go. It's a really good thing.
Okay.
Okay, so you could change the location. All right, and it says, you've selected page audience. This information helps us put the page in front of people who matter to you most. Okay?
Yep.
Think of it like water. Your Facebook reach is a glass of water. If you pour it on the floor, it spreads out everywhere. If you pour it in a cup, it's focused. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, good. So you want to use the preferred page audience.
I'll have to go back in here later and okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So that's a good one. Okay, obviously, make sure you fill out your about page thoroughly. Don't forget about that one. That's one of those things people just look over. I mean, simple. And one time, I'm going over simple stuff. And people take this for granted. They fill out their Facebook page. After you fill it out, make sure you go through every single tab on your page. Because people will add something, like an About Us page, and they'll forget to put in their information, their URL, write something good about themselves. And I can't emphasize enough how unprofessional it looks if that's filled out with typos, it's not done correctly.
And people are in a rush too, and I think that's what their problem is. They've got to take their time and
Right, and the most important thing for people, even if you don't focus on your Facebook page, set it up correctly so you look like a professional.
right. Well, that's why I called you.
Right, I'm glad you did.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it's good. Now, in the top right of your Facebook page, it says what type of business you are.
Yeah, it says real estate, and it says in South Dartmouth, Massachusetts.
Good. Okay, photos. All right. One thing you did really well as I look at your page is you use clear photos. You utilize a lot of best practices for your photos.
Okay.
Okay, so you got a really nice cover photo. That photo on the top left, your profile photo.
Yep.
So one thing I'll say to you on this is you got to remember it's a perfect square.
Okay.
And so if you don't use a perfect square, it'll crop your photo.
Oh,
And you see
okay.
how it's coming close to the top of your head?
Yeah.
That's because they made it a perfect square.
Okay.
Other than that, it's a great photo
Okay.
because you got to remember when people are doing stuff, they're going to see only a very small thumbnail of your photo.
Yeah, I just had that professionally done, so.
It's a great photo. And that's what I'm saying. It's good because you could see it from a distance, they could see your face. Because remember, when you comment as your page, they're only going to see a very small picture.
Right, okay.
Does that make sense?
It does?
So when people sometimes put numbers or phone numbers in that profile photo, that's not the place to do it.
No.
Because when it's really small, it won't be clear.
Okay.
Now, to the right of that, you have your cover photo. You can be very creative with this if you want, depending
Okay.
on your ability. For example, I embedded another picture of myself. I did a cute little catchphrase. Some people do phone numbers, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I see yours.
Right. But what I love about what you did is if you don't have the ability to do that, which most people don't, just put a really beautiful picture of something that depicts your community or a house that you really like, which you did.
Right.
And I think it looks great.
Yeah, this is a house that my broker has on the market right now.
Right. And I'd rather see that than a poorly done thing with phone numbers written, catchphrases, or it's just blurry.
Tacky, too.
Tacky. Yeah, I mean, but if you could do that well, then rock out. But if you
Yeah.
don't have the ability to do it, just get something really clean. It could either, you could alternate of houses you're selling. What I would recommend, because this is a home your broker's selling, this is a specific house. The only thing I'd recommend for this is be more general, because you're going to have this page for a while, and this also isn't really a house that you're associated with.
Okay.
I mean, your broker is. So if you could spend some time, go out into the community and get some really nice photos, some photos with you in front of the pictures as well.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, get a friend and get something that really depicts your town really well. Maybe it's a youth game, or maybe it's just a beautiful backdrop with you like doing the finger point, jazz hand, smiling
Yeah.
with your thumb up, something like that, and have them just rock out. Spend an hour, get a family member, husband, child to just do it. Tell them you'll make them pizza later.
Okay.
Put on your nicest clothes and just have them take a ton of pictures, and eventually you'll get one that you like. And if you're not comfortable with how you're coming on the photos, like you said, you had that one done professionally, then just get a really nice scenic picture that really depicts your town.
Okay.
So that's really done well. I mean, I've seen some great agent blurry photos. All right. Under each photo, you could put the location description. This is especially important when you have properties. So as you sell properties, you'll have to want to put the address and a description of it. And this is what I meant before. When you're selling properties, okay, this is so great to use at all times. Because you could almost have a list, and you could put all these photos, you could organize them into albums.
Okay. Yep.
And those albums could be past sales, current listings, pictures of the community, pictures of you that promote you as a professional. Because you could be working with clients, with things that you're passionate about, but you want to have an album that says something about who you are. And people can like, comment, and share those photos just like with any post. Okay, and I really like those categories: past sales, current listings, pictures of the community, and then pictures that promote you as a professional. What I mean by that is maybe you interact with people in the community, things of that nature.
Oh, yeah. Organizations maybe that you belong with.
Right, something that says, I want her to represent me. Okay. So you really want to organize them. And the same applies for videos.
Okay.
When you do a video, you could organize them the same as pictures. But there's something you want which is called a feature video.
Feature video.
Yes. A feature video is that you want that really showcases what you're all about. For example, mine, I have a feature video of me doing water rights. I really like that video. I think it was well done. And I think it gives a good idea of what I'm trying to do for people. Explain real estate exam concepts.
Okay.
Now, the video may sound scary. Yeah. Okay, because you don't have editors or all this kind of people to help you with it, right?
Right.
Much like the cover photo, keep it simple. Find some really good lighting. Okay, it could be outside somewhere else. And then I want somebody to just take the video of you saying something really simple. Like I said, you go through a few trials of saying a few things in the video before you find that lighting you really like. But once you nail it, just do something really simple. Hi, my name is Lois. I'm an agent in the area. I would love for you to use me sometime. Please check out my Facebook page, my listing. I'm talking 10 seconds here. Just something to show that you're a real person.
Okay.
It'll make you look so much more professional and you know what's up with how to do social media. And it's so important that you show you know how to use social media, because if I'm listing my house and somebody has no idea how to use the internet, that's a major knock on, their skills as a real estate agent in this day and age. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And by showing you know what you do with the internet, you're just doing these basic things. And if I see somebody's Facebook page and they have a featured video that says, hey, I'm Lois, I'm working on the South Dartmouth area, I'm new to real estate, really excited to do this, I love my community, I love the people in it, and I would love to, show you what I could do for your house. 10 seconds. Like, for me to say that little blurb, how long was that? 5 seconds?
5 seconds.
It sounded pretty good, right?
It did.
I just thought off the top of my head. That was good. But you get the idea. You have something. It makes you look more advanced. It makes you look like you're technology savvy when all you really did was upload a video the same as every kid does on Snapchat these days.
Right.
You make it a featured video.
And it's not that hard to do on your iPhone. Just
Exactly. In today's day and age, there's no reason not to.
right.
Okay?
Okay.
So Facebook's all about posting, right?
Right.
The timeline shows all your posts organized by date. Now,
Okay.
you could post as your business page or your personal profile on your business page.
Okay.
Okay? So let me show you how to do that. When you remember we went to that write something to make a post?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see where it says post on the right-hand side?
Yes.
Above that, there's your picture with a little arrow.
I see it. Yes.
Click the drop down there.
Okay.
So you could either post as yourself as Lois the real estate agent or Lois the person.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Now, for real estate, you don't necessarily want to do that. You want to always post professional, but you have that option there. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And like we said before, if you go on the posts, you could add a photo or video to the post. You could add a feeling. They call an emoji.
Okay.
You could check in to where you are. Okay, so people see where you are, which is big for a real estate agent. You want to use this a lot, especially when you're going to open houses. So people know where you're at. If they want to find you, you always want people to easily be able to find you. So if you're sitting at an open house all day, you want to check in.
Oh, all right.
So that way everybody knows whoever goes to your Facebook page knows, okay, Lois is at 43 Main Street today. Great. I know I could go there to ask her a question and I could go see the house. It's one thing to post about your open house. People like to know you're actually there.
Oh, okay.
And maybe you're at like a networking function in your community. I mean, the whole point is you want to be easily found, right?
Right, I do.
And that's where that check-in comes in. Okay?
Okay, yep. You are going to send me a list of everything we're going over, right?
I will, yes. It's a lot, I know. All right, so so you check in your location, schedule your post. We went over that before, right?
Right. Yep.
When you post, just best practices, always make sure you have a call to action.
Okay.
So remember, the point of your Facebook page is to create interaction. The interactions can be likes, shares,
Yep.
or comments. You always want an interaction. Okay, so you never want to just post something that doesn't have an interaction. For example, for me, my interaction is I always want people to answer the question. I post, which of the following is most likely to be real property? Right. What I'm really trying to do is do things that people want to interact with when I do that. I don't just say real properties, things that are movable. If you notice, I never really do that on my page.
Oh, you don't?
No, because I'm trying to promote people interacting with me, whether it's comments, shares, or likes. So you got to think of things like, even if it's something simple, like I'm really excited to be a real estate agent. Do you like my blue jacket or green one? Simple things like that. Show that
Oh,
you're out there, you're excited. It also shows that you're a real person. People love that kind of stuff when they see that you're a real person. And then they'll interact with you. It could be like, what do you think of this house? I just saw this house today. You want to involve people. You want to empower people to help you.
oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so even, I know it sounds silly to ask me about your jacket, but people would love to interact. Because what you're doing when you say that, you're saying, I'm really excited to get out here. I'm so pumped to be a real estate agent, do this. Got these 2 jackets. What do you think? And now you got, people would love to chime in on that too.
Yeah.
You'd be shocked, you know? Whether it's the house or you say, what do you think of the new street that was built on, Lake Street this week? What do you think of the new sign there? Things that are involved in the community, things that show your knowledge about the community. But you don't
Right.
want to give answers. You want to ask for people's opinions.
Yeah, I'm going to have to be thinking about some of these things. Maybe every day come out with some sort of question, like similar like you do.
Right, and that's where that scheduling comes in. Because
Yeah,
as you
yeah,
think about it, you plan it, because you want to sit down and really plan out good ones. Because you're not going to think of them on the moment. So you'll
yeah,
schedule them.
right,
Obviously, some stuff is time sensitive. Like the Little League team wins their championship, you got to post it that day. You can't schedule that.
right.
And by the way, you always want to acknowledge success in your community.
Okay,
Congrats to Billy's Little League team, win championship, good stuff. Stuff that you are selling your community. So you've got to show you're involved in the community. And
right.
also, by the way, if you post your Facebook page, good job, Billy and his Little League team, guess who's going to like and comment? Billy's family.
Yeah,
I mean, unless they're horrible people, they're going to say, thanks, Lois, for the comment. Really appreciate it. Good stuff with your real estate business.
cool.
So you always need that call to action. Okay?
Yep,
All
good
right?
idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Okay. So you got the call to action. You got check in your location. You could pin a post, which just means your post will automatically go to the top. It'll stay up there. So if you're selling a house or something, or you just made a post that you really like, you could pin it and it stays to the top. Because you know how your posts are organized by date they're posted?
Yep.
When you pin it, it automatically stays to the top and the rest go below it. And obviously
Oh,
you can only pin one post at a time.
right. Okay.
Okay? And obviously when you accomplish what you want to accomplish, you would unpin it and it would go back to where it is on the timeline.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. You could also post events. What would be the event that you want to do the most
Oh,
of? Open houses, obviously.
and I'm going to be doing an open house in a couple of weeks with another agent.
Okay,
So
so what you do is you go on your Facebook page, and under the cover photo, there's this option that says More. Do you see that?
I do.
Click on that.
Okay.
And then you see Create an Event,
Yep.
and there you could create your event. And you have the event name, the location, the time. Utilize all these things to your best of your ability.
Okay. I'm doing this with another agent. I'll just make sure I get all the information. I don't know if she has a Facebook page, but I'll post it.
Yeah, so you could post it there, and hopefully when it's done, you could tell her some things too.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Yep.
did you make it an event? Did you do this? Now, one huge thing we forgot, probably the most biggest thing of all, is to get people to your Facebook page.
Yes, that'd be helpful.
Now, that's a huge process, okay?
Yeah.
But one simple thing you could do is share your page. You remember how you said about 200 friends on your personal page?
Yes.
On your page,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
all right, go to the More tab
Okay.
where we just were before. You see where it says Invite Friends?
Yes.
Click on that, and all your friends are going to come up that you have in your personal life.
Okay.
Make sure you invite all of them to like your business page.
Okay.
Now, you could also invite email contacts, which is a little more complicated, but you can decide where to share it on your timeline, on your friend's timeline, on a group page, in a private message, but make sure you invite your friends.
Okay.
Okay?
Do you think my Facebook page is set up okay now for me to invite them? Do you think that it looks okay?
That's for you to decide. So you're going to go through everything we said, take a look at it. But yeah, I mean, you're ready to go. You got a nice cover photo. Make sure your About Us described well. Make sure your reviews are ready. Make sure, which they are, your reviews are up. I mean, open for business. Let's go. Remember, when you say is it ready, it's not a book where you publish it and it's gone. That's the other beauty of this. Like when you make a mailer, a pamphlet, or a book, you publish it, there it is, it's done.
Yeah.
This you could always edit in real time. If you're like, oh, I messed up with that, fix it.
Yeah.
Whereas like a mailer, you hit publish, there it is. I don't know what I just did, but it's gone. And if you see a spelling error on a mailer, you're like, oh crap, there's nothing I could do now.
But this I can change right away. Okay.
Always. So make sure you invite your friends. Okay? So make sure all this is done. And then later we'll get into how to advertise and promote the page. But the simple way to promote it is mention in your emails, have it as a signature in your emails, on your business cards, and also friend other people of similar pages. You share their information on your page, hopefully they share your information on their page, etc. And you help each other out.
Okay.
Okay? And we'll get more into those strategies later.
Okay.
All right? But in the meantime, we've been talking about this for over an hour, and we haven't even hit the advertising. So how'd we do?
Great.
So hopefully in this session, I showed you a lot of things you could do that are very basic and easy. And this took an hour, and I think you'd agree, I showed you nothing where you were like, I can't do that.
No, it's pretty simple.
Right. So hopefully you're pretty happy with what we went over because you said, we went over a lot of stuff, and it's all manageable and doable for me. So there you go.
Definitely is.
All right. And I'll send you an outline too.
Okay, good.
Okay. So other than that, this is Joe from PrepAgent. Everybody go to Lois's Facebook page. I'll have it up on the notes. So I'm going to have it in the show notes or page. You're going to get a ton of people just by that. So by offering your website as a learning tool, your page is going to be promoted to my YouTube page, which has, I think, close to 15,000 subscribers at the time of doing this video.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's that for now.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck, Lois. Let me know if you need anything.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye.